Yo, fam, what is up? You are back for another video with Datazero. This is your weekly outlook and prediction for stocks and crypto. This video is not financial advice, should not be taken as such. Please do your own research and due diligence before buying any stock or crypto asset. This is my research and due diligence that I'm sharing with you. But let's show you what I'm looking at as traders and investors for this week. This is your weekly outlook and prediction. We'll be looking at the meme stocks, AMC and GME. We're also going to be looking at the overall stock market SPY, and we're going to be looking at the cryptocurrency market. So right now, we would normally talk about data drops and stuff like that, but the government shutdown is still in play. This is actually becoming one of the third largest government shutdowns in history and quickly becoming possibly the largest government shutdown because it doesn't seem like there is a end in sight, okay? I'm not going to get political with all of it, but it doesn't seem like Trump wants to buzz, doesn't seem like the Democrats want to buzz or Republicans want to buzz. Nobody's making compromises, showing you, in my personal opinion, how inadequate the whole entire government is, but that's neither here nor there. If you guys are interested, though, food benefits like SNAP are getting cut off. In some states, they already are cut off, and then they're due to be cut off in other states as well as this continues. So anybody getting those benefits, I do feel for you, but they will be potentially cutting them off here soon. Places like Pennsylvania already cut off, and then more are set to cut off for this as this continues. So that being said, no data drops, so we don't have to worry about anything like that for SPY or the overall market. Now, as far as AMC and GME are concerned, I think, in my personal opinion, you're probably going to see some upside here for this week coming up here. It doesn't have to be crazy upside, but we are in a bottoming process. Both of the meme stocks have rallied up, as you guys can see. AMC coming from 267 all the way to 318, and then GameStop coming up from about 22 or 21.92, depending where you're looking at, and then all the way to 28.30. So decent rallies for both of the meme stocks. Now they hit a high and they both pulled back. You guys can see the same thing for both of them. They hit a high and they both pulled back. Well, what is happening next? I believe, based off the charts, facts, and data here that I'm seeing, RSI clearly trending up, bullish momentum clearly building, as you guys can see. I believe that we're going to see a push to the upside. The key to confirm that GME is officially bottomed is breaking and holding the key level of 2350, which I believe is going to be happening this week. Last week, we retested it fiercely and got rejected from it. We tested it, retested, got rejected from it, found a bottom and pushed up. Now, there are a few things here that are worrying me for GME. If we go down to the smaller time frames, you guys can see that there's actually some gap fills here to the downside. So it doesn't mean that this has to happen right away. We've been bottoming and it's taking a long time. I know people are kind of getting bored, but I told you exactly what GME would do. I said it would come down, it will start to flattening out, which you can see it's doing now. It's starting to flatten out, and then it will snap to the upside. Why? It's because it has bullish divergence. Think of it as momentum, just building, and then exploding, because that's what's going to be happening here as GME slowly starts to exhaust all sellers and then push to the upside, basically exhausting the downward pressure that we're seeing here from the manipulation. Dark pool volumes have been crazy for AMC and GME. They've also been shorting a lot of shares. AMC finally moving in the right direction here of cost to borrow moving to the upside, 0.59% as of right now, but we saw that cost to borrow pop. We definitely want to see that cost to borrow go higher. You guys can see here with the volume candles, they've definitely been shorting a lot more. 4.3 million short shares. So they know that AMC is ready to bottom and push up. They know that GameStop's ready to bottom and push up, and they are getting short shares to prepare for it. 4.3 million at time of recording, so they could even have more or less depending on what happens here pre-market by the time the market opens up, okay? So as you guys can see right now here for GME, 2.6 million short shares at time of recording with a cost to borrow of 0.39%. We definitely want to see these cost to borrow levels go up for both of the meme stocks, especially GME. GME having more short interest than AMC right now, but having a lower cost to borrow. So these are two things that I'm looking at here. You always want to look at cost to borrow levels. The more cost to borrow is, the less likely it will be that you'll see a bunch of short shares, which means the less downward pressure we'll see from manipulation. Now, of course, they can do other things like algorithmic trading and dark pooling, but having the cost of borrow go up is often an indication that liquidity is drying up, and we normally see price go up when cost of borrow goes up. for the meme stocks. Now, I made a whole video breaking down why a yes vote would be absolutely catastrophic if we were to see this dilution for AMC. You guys can believe whatever you want at this point. I think I broke down point by point in that video, and if you guys want to check that out on my channel, you guys can. I'm going to put it up in the cards. It should be up on the screen right here in the corner of the screen right now around this time. So if you guys want to check that video out, you guys can, but I've showed you guys different ways of ChatGPT explaining it, me explaining it. I showed you guys numbers, everything I can to show you why voting yes and why we have to be in a united front, and this dilution would be absolutely catastrophic for AMC. So you guys can look into that if you want. The video is right here. This is what it looks like. It's the real truth. And this is the title. You guys can check that out here. It's also on my Twitter/X. But basically, Trump is kind of backing down from the tariff thing. So we're seeing an overall recovery in the market, which is why I think we're going to see green here for the meme stocks. I think we're going to be seeing a green week in my personal opinion. AMC looks like it's ready to bottom as well, pushing back above towards 286 or 290. We actually saw a decent push here heading into Friday's close as we try to push up for 280. If AMC can break and hold $2.90, that will be confirmation that it has indeed bottomed, and most likely is going to push way past $3. In fact, past $3 to the point where it's going to make a new high. So a lot of people I know are kind of like out of it right now, and I do think there is a chance that AMC could rally before the dilution. And that is a possibility. But basically, I think that both of the meme stocks are bottoming out and about to push up. This is why I talked about GameStop here in the beginning. I believe that they're going to follow each other. This is why I showed you guys the similarity of the rally to drop down. I believe both of the meme stocks are trying to push up. You guys can actually see both of them got this bearish candle here on Friday, but there was a lot of manipulation here on Friday. I think that in the beginning half of the week, it could start off slow where you see a pullback in both of them. So I'm not saying you're going to see immediate upside. I think we're going to see downside potentially here, maybe like Monday, Tuesday, but by Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, we should be pushing to the upside. AMC should be able to push back above 280, and GameStop should be able to push back above 2350, giving both of the meme stocks a green week. So I do think we're going to see a green week for the meme stocks in my personal opinion. We're going to be looking for a green weekly candle print. I think that GameStop is going to be above 2350, and I think AMC is going to be above 280. And this week is going to start that bottoming process where we can start to bottom out and then push to the upside. So again, a little bit more downside is expected. AMC probably coming down to maybe like 270, and then GameStop coming down to fill these gaps. These gaps come down to about like 2266 and 2272. So maybe we have to come down and fill those gaps. We do have this bearish candle here, pull back down, GameStop flattens out, it's going to flatten out and then correct to the upside in a big way, bottoming and then pushing back up, ending this overall downtrend and then going for a new high, and then AMC is going to do the same thing, and I believe that this week is going to be the start of that. So we should see a green weekly candle print by the end of this week in my personal opinion. So this is what I'm looking at for AMC and GME. Let's go ahead and move into SPY and the overall market, show you guys what's going on there. Again, government shutdown still in play. There's also a massive bear flag that potentially brewing, but we have this bullish weekly candle from last week, and what I think we're going to see for both NASDAQ and SPY is actually a push to the upside. I know that's going to hurt some people, but this is what I actually think we're going to see. I think we are seeing a potential bear flag form. It is a little too early to tell, but that will lead to a move down, which will look like basically a double top. Top one, top two. You guys can see we actually called for this drawdown here that just recently happened. I think we're going to recover from that and then move back down. Now, why do I think that we're not going to go up and blast off? Well, guys, we're just way too frothy. I think the bubble is starting to get to a massive point. There's a lot more people talking about the bubble now. It's just being put out there a lot. And you guys can see that the RSI is kind of starting to fade down here on the bigger time frames. Also, the MACD as well. And price is starting to flatten out. It looks like we're going to lose momentum and top out, in my personal opinion. Also, RSI extremely high on the weekly time frame. If we do push up as I'm expecting and get a green week here on SPY, which is also why I think the meme stocks will also recover, because the overall market is going to recover from that drawdown we've seen a few weeks back from the Trump tariffs. I think that we're going to top out. Here on the monthly time frame, RSI is at 75. Normally when you get these high RSI levels, you get significant pullback. So I think we're actually going to see a correction here very, very, very soon. I feel like the Trump tariff scare was just the beginning of that correction that you've seen this draw down. We're not out of the woods yet. Also, crypto is recovering as well, which makes me think the market is also going to be bullish. I think that we're going to move to the upside here for SPY and NASDAQ. And then again, that's going to lead to a larger correction down. But SPY and NASDAQ will go up towards their previous all-time highs. And I believe somewhere around there is where we'll top out. So SPY like 673. I'm not saying we're going there this week. It's very, very possible. 675, maybe around that range. Possible price targets for this week for SPY are 668.24. If we're able to break that, then yes, the 673 or 675 is definitely on the cards. But I think overall what you're going to see is a push up and then a double top type structure where you see this movement to the upside. You see that bear flag play out, this movement to the upside here, you see that bear flag play out, and then a drop down, making a top one and top two, dropping us to the downside. So again, I think we're going to see bullishness this week, and then possibly heading into next week, we'll see where we're at the end of this week, start to move down. But this does not look like a setup for more bullishness in my personal opinion. I know SPY bulls are going to say we're going to all-time highs, and then we're going to blast past that. Based off what I'm looking here, that is just simply not possible. Monthly RSI also way overbought here for SPY. So if SPY continues higher, that's going to drive that RSI higher. And then weekly RSI giving us little to no room to run. RSI already at 65, and then 70 would be that overbought territory. MACD on the weekly time frame starting to lose momentum. Price starting to flatten out. I think this bubble is coming to an end in my personal opinion, and the chickens may be coming home to roost sooner than a lot of people are thinking. So I think we are going to see bullishness here for SPY. You can also see here on the weekly time frame for SQQQ, an index that moves inverse of NASDAQ, multiple gap fills to the upside, and we're starting to build bullish momentum here on the weekly time frame, and volume is starting to build up. That means more and more people are hedging. This is not a good sign, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you, man, we're coming close to a top. I'm telling you guys, we're getting close to a top here on the overall market. And it doesn't mean that we can't correct and then continue up later, but we are definitely heading for correction territory. Probably something similar to what you saw here, which was a massive drawdown for the overall market. So this is what I'm looking at for SPY in the overall market. I do think we're going to see green this week, but coming here soon, we're definitely going to see a correction. Government shutdown is definitely going to come into play as it drags on and more things lose funding. And then also, as well, we are not completely out of the woods for the uncertainty with all this tariff stuff going on. Geopolitical stuff has kind of calmed down with Trump doing all of that stuff in the Middle East, but we still have a lot of uncertainty here at home, and I believe that this market is showing cracks, that it is soon about to give way, and the technicals are showing that we are just way too frothy. So this is what I'm looking at for SPY in the overall market. Let's go ahead and move into BTC crypto. Show you guys what's going on there, and then we will wrap up this weekly outlook and prediction. Make sure you guys hit the like button and subscribe if you don't mind, and put the bell notification on, because I do go live during market hours, so you guys can get this information as it does become available. So Bitcoin doing very, very good, up almost 1.5% here on the day, 1.47% to be exact. Ethereum up 2%. We're seeing gains across the board. I already told you guys if Bitcoin recovers, you are going to see the altcoins recover. Now we're not out of the woods yet. Ultimately, I want to see Bitcoin above $115,700 to say that, yes, 100% we've bottomed. We need to get above that level and hold it, and then I'll say, yes, we've bottomed. But crypto, fear and greed went into extreme fear, and now it's in fear. When you're in extreme fear, that's normally a buy signal, and anyone who would have bought crypto in that extreme fear is up, especially if you bought some of these altcoins. Some of these altcoins absolutely dumped here, like Cardano ADA, dumped down crazy, and now they're up wild off of their lows. You guys can see off of the crash, we dumped down crazy. It's up like 77% off of that low. And then even off this recent pullback that we had here, Cardano ADA is up about 11% off of that low when we went back into extreme fear around this time. And then we were in extreme fear as well here. So again, be greedy when others are fearful, and be fearful when others are greedy is always a great way to find potential buys in the market, especially on the macro. Now, if anyone bought down there, they could sell for profit right now and or hold depending on what their strategy is. You guys can see here key coins like Ethereum are still in this overall falling wedge, which is a bullish consolidation to make a move higher. If Ethereum were to make a move higher, that means Bitcoin would have to move higher. So I believe that we are potentially going to see a recovery for the crypto market. We're already starting to see that now. In order for me to feel less stressful about a potential pullback and further downside, you want to see Bitcoin clear 109,500. If we get back above and hold that level, then there's a very, very good chance that we'll push up. And if we break above 115,700 and hold that level, that's a clear indication that we are indeed bottomed, and we're most likely going to head back towards that 120, 125 level and potentially higher, which could bring things like Ethereum up to that 4.95K level, which is the target for this falling wedge that it is in right now. And of course, that would help coins like XRP move higher. XRP, you definitely want to see back above $3. But right now, XRP is sitting in a buy zone, in my personal opinion. Anything under $2.50 is a steal on XRP. Even if you look at it from just recent price history, you have a lot of support here, so not much downside, but you definitely have some upside reward, especially if we were to get back above 366 and hold that level. You could see a price target of $3.80, $4 here for XRP. I do repeat, again, a price target of $3.80 or $4 here for XRP. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, so if Bitcoin were to go higher, I believe that altcoins will recover. Again, we're still in the fear, so that's normally a good buy time as well, but not as good as extreme fear. Overall, cryptocurrency market is definitely seeing a recovery, so that looks bullish. Bitcoin is trying to get back above that 109,500 level, which I think it's going to do here soon. But we're seeing, again, Bitcoin up 1.5%, Ethereum up 2%, Cardano 8 up 3.90%. Things are looking good for a recovery here for cryptocurrency as these dips are getting bought. So again, I think crypto is going to recover in my personal opinion, which means coins like XRP are going to go back above $3. If you see XRP hold $3, that is definitely a sign that it has bottomed and is going to push up as well. If you see Bitcoin above 115,700, that's going to be a key indicator to say, hey, this has bottomed and most likely will push up as well. And of course, if you see ETH back above like 4.5, that is definitely an indication that we are not only have bottomed, but we're breaking out of this falling wedge, and you're potentially going to see it push up towards that new all-time high of 5,000. Ethereum is set up primed for a new all-time high, and this is why I believe this crypto bull run is not over. Also, Bitcoin hasn't broken the overall uptrend that it's been in. Now, it is showing some disturbing signs here on the bigger time frame that we might be getting near a top if we don't start moving up here soon. You guys can see MACD's pretty red here, but if we don't crash and we go back to green weekly MACD, we're definitely going to move up right now. So again, this looks like we could be consolidating. We definitely could break down from here, but I don't think the bull run is over. If we broke below this red line, then yes, we definitely have some things to worry about because our overall uptrend is broken. But at this point in time, things look good for a continuation to the upside. I'm holding for the long term, so I don't really care. If we went to a bear market, I would be accumulating more. And I'm not going to be taking profits here at this point. In my personal opinion, I think that these prices will be low back around like 2030, 2035 when I'm ready to sell, or even crypto's like a retirement plan for me. I look at crypto very, very differently, especially Bitcoin. Most of my portfolio is Bitcoin. It's finite. It has a fixed cap. And I believe because the dollar's constantly losing value, just that alone, if you look at history through inflation, don't houses cost more? Don't things with scarcity cost more? Scarcity creates value. And this is why it costs more and more and more and more things to more and more dollars to buy things over time. I believe Bitcoin with its scarcity and the fixed cap of the 21 million coins is going to help it maintain its value while the dollar loses value. And just that alone, not even having or other things built in, just that alone will cause BTC to be worth much more than it is now in the future, in my personal opinion. So I think this is a great investment for something like a retirement fund, which is what I'm looking at. So again, we are seeing some disturbing things here on the weekly time frame. RSI kind of trending down, but we are getting higher lows on the RSI here on BTC. So that could mean we get a pop up as we're basically coiling up. We want to be careful that we don't get a lower low, because that would be bearish divergence. MACD is red, but if we consolidate and push up and then get that MACD green, that is going to be a very good sign for a potential another leg up here for the crypto bull market, which it looks like we're setting up for, despite that crash that we got from the Trump scare. So this is pretty much everything I'm looking at. Guys, if you made it this far in the video, I appreciate you. If you guys want to hit that like button, subscribe, help support the channel for absolutely free, thank you so much. Again, if you're watching to the end, thank you. Again, just leave a comment down below if you want to support. But if you guys want to check out the channel, you guys can drop a super chat on the live streams. You can check out the merch. And I also have a Discord as well, exclusive predictions, technicals, and information. It's $100 for a lifetime invite. Once you make payment via PayPal or Cash App, I'll send you the link to get in. Make sure you hit me up at my email, DataZeroOfficial5, before sending payment. And again, once you send that payment, I'll give you access to that Discord, where again, you can put the notifications on and get notifications right to your phone when I do drop price targets and buy and sell signals. So this is your weekly outlook and prediction for stocks and crypto. Make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe. And as always, y'all, have fun, stay safe, make money. Peace out, fam.